In the tranquil Upper West region of Ghana lies the town of Jarapa, where hopes for tourism and local economic growth once shimmered brightly around the expansive resort known as Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, popularly referred to by many as Jarapa Dubai. The resort, developed by entrepreneur Eric Johnson, was a bold vision: a 4-kilometer safari park, zebras, an artificial lake, jet ski facilities, all aimed at creating jobs and putting Jarapa on the tourism map. But beneath the ambition lay tension, jealousy, and ultimately tragedy. On the night of 10 to 11 February 2024, Johnson was stabbed to death in his residence at the resort, a crime that sent shockwaves through the region. Eric Johnson was well known in Jarapa as a driven businessman. He had recently built the resort, providing employment and economic opportunity. One of his employees at the resort was Elisha Mahama, who had held the position of Human Resources Manager. According to the prosecution's narrative, Mahama was dismissed from his HR role after allegations surfaced that he'd engaged in multiple sexual relationships with female staff, causing internal conflict and disruptions in hotel operations. On the night of the murder, Mahama allegedly scaled the fortified wall of Johnson's residence using a ladder, entered the compound, placed calls to a Belinda Miller, seeking the master key to Johnson's room, and later entered the room and stabbed Johnson multiple times. After the act, he is said to have stolen an unspecified amount of money and Johnson's car keys, used the car to flee the scene and abandoned it at Jarapa Zongo. The details paint a chilling picture of premeditation and betrayal. Someone once inside the business who felt wronged, then turned aggression into violence. On the morning of February 11, 2024, Johnson's lifeless body was found in his private residence inside the resort, naked and in a pool of blood. Investigators carried out a detailed forensic and intelligence-led operation. They collected fingerprints and blood-stained footprints at the scene that matched Mahama's fingerprints and footwear. Phone records reportedly placed Mahama at the resort compound during the critical time. Calls to Miller while on the premises were central to the case. The Regional Police Command reported that Mahama was arrested in the central region shortly after the crime. The Upper West Police described the investigation as swift, intelligence-led. The trial of Elisha Mahama and 2 co-accused, Belinda Miller and Kweku Kankumbada, also spelled Kambada/Kankumbada in some reports, was closely watched across Ghana. The trial was held at the Washington High Court in the Upper West region, presided over by Yusuf Asabe, sometimes His Lordship Justice Yusuf Asabe. A 7-member jury delivered a unanimous verdict, 7-0, finding Mahama guilty of murder. Miller and Kankumbada were acquitted and discharged for lack of evidence. In his final words before sentencing, Mahama maintained his innocence. "I still maintain that I'm not guilty. Everything I knew about this is what my counsel has put before you." On October 15, 2025, the court delivered its judgment. Elisha Mahama was sentenced to life imprisonment under the Criminal Code Act 29 for the murder of Eric Johnson. He is to serve his sentence at the Ankeful Maximum Security Prison in the central region of Ghana. The principal state attorney for the Upper West region, Saeed Abdul Shakur, described the verdict as fair, thorough, and just. In response, the regional police released a statement reaffirming their commitment to rule of law and thanking the investigation team and judiciary. The murder of Eric Johnson remains tragic for many reasons. He was regarded as a visionary entrepreneur seeking to advance tourism and employment in Jarapa. His death cut short a vision of economic transformation. For the community, the case underscores several themes. Betrayal from within. The accused was once an employee entrusted with responsibilities in the enterprise. Forensic power. Fingerprints, footprints, phone data all contributed to conviction, demonstrating how modern policing can reach deep even in regional cases. Justice and closure. While no verdict can replace a life lost, the sentencing provides a measure of closure for the family and community. Security and entrepreneurship. Successful ventures in remote regions may raise risks. The case signals the need for robust security and safeguarding of personnel. For Mahama, despite claiming innocence and expressing hope for appeal, the conviction stands. His dismissal from the hotel, alleged misconduct with female employees, and the narrative of revenge motive were central to the prosecution's case. In Jarapa, the resort still stands, an ambitious project bearing the memory of its founder, and now the legacy of a violent act that shocked a region. The story of Eric Johnson and Elisha Mahama reminds us that human enterprise, ambition and opportunity are vulnerable to darker forces of envy, conflict and violence. The wheels of justice in this case may have ground slowly, but they ground nonetheless. As the state attorney put it, though we cannot bring Eric Johnson back, justice has been served.